out to be like really bad. Really bad.
Yeah, I nearly put my mum in hospital because she had a bad egg mayo sandwich.
Oh my god.
Now she won't eat egg mayo.
That's the once you've made a bad association with the food.
Yeah.
My partner has it really bad with like, I can't remember if it's like prawns specifically, but like he used to work in a pub. Oh yeah, that was it. And he had to make like fucking like 500 prawn cocktails one day. And that's like goodbye seafood forever for him, which is sad because I love seafood.
I love seafood.
So I'm always like, whenever we go anywhere, I'm like, give me fucking prawn fucking linguine. And he's like, don't touch me.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I do find that if you go to a pub and they've got the scampi chips, I used to love them.
I love scampi chips.
But then my father-in-law sent us a box of like 60 of them and I ate too many.
That's so sad when you ruin it for yourself.
I ruined it for myself.
I've done that before.
And then for Christmas, husband got me like an entire box of beef jerky because I like beef jerky, and I've had to. He's like, "Did you not like it?" I'm like, "No, I've got to pace myself, otherwise I'll put myself off it.
Otherwise, I won't like beef jerky anymore."
And that's on commitment issues.
And is that what it is?
I think it might be. I think if we psychoanalyse it,
if we got really deep into it.
So we've just recorded our first episode.
Yes.
How do you think it went? Is this too meta?
No. Can't be. I do hate it when podcasts are meta.
Yep.
Generally. I've just been saying to Meg, I would never listen to anything like this myself.
You'd never listen to our podcast?
No. Can't stand people chatting.
What do you want from a podcast?
No.
Just like hard facts.
Perfect narrative that like holds every complexity of every story.
Jess, I don't have time for that.
I know.
I can't plan that.
You can plan, but no, you've got 400 podcasts and a PhD.
I've got too much.
And a job and a dog and a marriage. You're a busy girl.
I am, yes. I do like the ones, like, big shout out to Ladies and Tangents, because they're my, like, comfort podcast.
Yeah.
Because I do like the dynamic, and I like how they just sort of just wind themselves up and, like, watch themselves go.
Sure.
For about an hour. I'm just chatting shit, basically.
If the chemistry's good between hosts, I can, like, break my, like, golden rules. Like, there's certain co-hosts where I'm like, I could listen to you two just, like, talk about anything.
Can you imagine if there are comments that are like, oh my god, these two have no chemistry?
Yeah.
That really upset me. Yes, I can imagine it.
I can imagine that. I think, like, it's... Some people... I don't know. Like, I think we have very undeniable chemistry, but I'm interested to see if, like, the people read that at all.
We're the Ed Gamble and James Acaster of higher education.
Absolutely.
Full disclaimer, we fancy them so much.
So fit. So unreasonably attractive.
Really, and not the sort of people I'd go for, usually.
James Acaster, apart from being fair, is like, that's the kind of guy that I want to fuck all the time.
Apart from being fair?
Like, fair, like, he's got quite a fair complexion and, like, fair hair.
You like him...
I like dark. Dark hair.
Is Will dark?
Yeah. Yeah.
In personality as well?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, wow.
Incredibly somber man.
See, I can't.
That's why I like him so much.
Oh, I can't. I'll also
you gotta have golden retriever energy.
That's it.
Partners.
That's my husband.
Yeah.
Who made it very clear that he doesn't want me to name him on this podcast. So we had extensive conversations about what his name should be. He's an American, and so he wanted to be called... Well, he wanted to be called, like, a British name. He was like, what if you called me, like, Jeremy? But he just kept picking, like, normal names. I'm like, people won't know it's a pseudonym. They'll just think you're called James.
Just think you're called... Yeah, James is, like, very, very run-of-the-mill.
It is.
You know?
And so I wanted to call him Chuck.
I like Chuck.
He wasn't happy.
Don't know why. Not when he suggested fucking Rusty.
I know.
Rusty or Chuck?
I'm going for Chuck.
Yeah. Chuck's fine.
Chuck's cute.
It's cute, yeah. It's cute. It's cute.
Chuck has real golden retriever energy, and I need that, because I need to offset the, like, real depressive default my mind goes into. I can't have someone who matches that, because we'll just spiral.
Yeah. That's the thing, isn't it? If you're too similarly matched...
Yeah.
I'd say that's, like... Because we're both... I'd say I'm sillier generally. I'm like daft, but then I'm also like way more dramatic.
Yeah.
My boyfriend's very good at being like more practical than me.
Yeah. I find that I'm definitely like drawn to people who have that silliness and who can bring that silliness out of me, which is what you also do. Because I'm in Aries, so not.
Are you?
Yeah.
That explains why I love it. All like, I love Aries. Aries is.
Yeah, I'm.
One of my best friends are Aries.
But I think I know Aries is supposed to be like the youngest zodiac, but I'm quite.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know anything. I just know like.
I went through a phase in high school.
Okay.
It's just a phase. I am a serious researcher and academic. I think critically.
Yeah.
I also tell people about my star sign a lot.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be the youngest zodiac sign. But someone else told me that I give them grandma vibes. So.
Oh. It's a mysterious one.
I think there's a part of me that has that, like, there's an inner child that's not being.
I feel like I think the thing that I always relate to because I'm a Taurus, which is like the worst star sign in the entire world.
My ex was a Taurus, and I blamed a lot of the relationship going wrong on that.
Everybody hates them. Like, I've never heard anybody say a positive thing about them. So my like childhood best friend is also a Taurus,
right?
But I think what I love in Aries is like. I really relate to like their unhinged energy.
Yes.
Everybody that I know that is an Aries that I really love, I'm very like simpatico with like their absolute lunacy.
Yeah.
Like,
I've got a real chaotic energy to me, but I also love scheduling and planning. So it's two ends of the scale that seem to clash a lot. Because I have this part of me that just gets, it's like I get zoomies. It's like I get this weirdness to me, and like, my husband's just looking at me like, who are you?
Yeah,
and why are you here?
What has triggered this?
Like, you chose me.
Yeah. And he did.
Yeah. You
Committed.
Wanted it. Well, Jess is running this one.
Yep. So, we'll find that very apparent very quickly, I should imagine. Just looking through my very extensive notes.
We won't do as much of an intro this time because...
people know if they listen to the first one.
Yeah. And they'll know more.
Exactly. You know what? You've got to keep a little mystery back. Because in my head, I'm like, obviously, it'll be so popular. And then people will be like, they want to do a Q&A.
Yeah.
Then we'll have to keep things back for the Q&A. Because I love it when I fall in love with a host. And then, like, you find out something, like, about them that makes you love them even more.
Definitely.
I just want to be loved. That's what I'm clearly saying here.
Yeah. I want strangers on the internet to tell me I'm good at what I do.
I want people to cultivate a parasocial relationship with me. Isn't this just classic, like, you know when you just... have you ever seen that meme where it's like, you go to a therapy session and it's like, all I want to do is impress my therapist and win therapy, which is both reasonable and problematic to want. Shall I do the thing?
Yeah.
Today's activity. So, we were gonna, I feel like one of our first brainstorming ideas was like doing a little like quiz about like, which type of grad student are you? And I've managed to find one that is like oriented more like neutrally, so like it's not like strictly STEM, which is nice. Not that there was that many STEM ones either, to be fair.
Okay.
I thought that they would have a bit more of a representation.
Yes, STEM.
Yes, STEM.
Not everything's about you, STEM.
I feel like the amount I mention them, like, I'm discovering that I'm more bothered by it than I thought I was. I was just like, yeah, we're just sharing. Like, I don't see any STEM people.
I don't know any STEM people.
Neither. I know one person in STEM, which is my friend's girlfriend, who is, like, the most accomplished person. And, like, she's doing her... I'm going to get this wrong. I think her PhD is in, like, microbiology.
Oh my god.
Something like that. And then she's doing it in her second language.
Shut up.
Yeah. Fucking ridiculously talented. And that's why I don't talk to STEM people.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, right, I don't need you here with your second language PhD showing me up. Alright?
Yeah, my imposter complex is already loud enough as it is. I don't need your achievements to add to it.
Totally.
Yeah. But if we just talk about it long enough, then we'll convince ourselves that we're real students.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Or we'll just convert to STEM. Like, that's even possible.
I could never.
It's not even actually something that I could do.
Nope.
I failed maths, so...
Did you?
I say that. I didn't, but only because my parents did intervene. Like, they were like, she's bad. She's so bad. So I very much would have failed. And then I did stop taking it, like, as soon as was humanly possible. Because they have to do it till they're 18 now, don't they?
Miserable.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely miserable.
One of the happiest days of my life, like, in living memory, was going to school and being like, no more science, no more maths, like... I'm free.
Yeah.
Time to start talking about my feelings. I was one of those A-levels. I took English, art, history, and psychology.
I was English literature.
Yeah.
Psychology.
Yeah.
What else was I? Wait, what did I do my A-levels in? Because I know I did one extra. What did I do today? English literature, creative writing, psychology, and drama.
Wow.
Yep.
Fully.
Yeah.
The full house.
All the feelings, all the time.
All of the feelings, all of the time.
All the Mickey Mouse subjects you could possibly ask for. I didn't even do very well in them.
My poor parents, they spent all that money. And I did really well, weirdly, in physics.
Did you?
Yeah, I got 99% on my physics GCSE, which I've never forgotten. Kind of like defining achievement of my life.
Bring that up in your graduation.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, for sure. I remember my parents were like, thank God! And then I was like, yeah, no more of that, thank you.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
You could have been like a physics prodigy.
I fucking couldn't.
Oh.
I genuinely... It was just because, like, for my GC... Like, I have, like, I did then. I just memorised, like, the whole textbook.
Yes.
And just managed to, like, go in and, like... You know how sometimes it's just, like, the things that, for whatever reason, stuck in your brain? Like, I have no understanding of physics.
No.
At all. I have no, like, working knowledge of how any of this exists.
Gestures to the room.
The miracles of the universe are the only thing that make me question atheism.
Yes!
Atheism, sorry.
I was
when
thinking
you're
about
like,
this earlier.
everything's so perfect.
Yeah.
If no one created it, then why is it so... Like, that's genuinely...
Yeah.
That's how little I understand of physics, is that I'm like, am I agnostic? And it's like, probably not. I just don't get how things are so perfectly composed.
I was thinking earlier, so you know how the Big Bang came because, like, atoms and that, like...
Atoms and that.
Rubbed fronts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, what came before the atoms
Yeah.
and how did the atoms get there?
Yeah.
That fucks with me.
Yeah. Oh, if I think too much about like the creation of the world, oh my god, I used to wake my mum up in the night and be like, I can't fucking sleep because I'm having an existential crisis. Like genuinely from like, I would say this happened like every 2 nights from like 4 to 8.
Oh my god.
And then also the other thing that used to really, I think this is my origin story for true crime, is being like, one day I'm gonna die.
Yes.
What happens when I die?
Yeah.
What happens if nothing happens after I die? Like, whoa.
Hate it.
And I still now, if I start getting into like the what happens when I die, I have to like put ASMR on. And have like a fake manicure via ASMR because I just can't think about like...
I never got on the ASMR train, so...
You're missing out! I love ASMR.
Are you serious?
Yeah, you see, no one ever expects it. Dude, I love ASMR.
What's your favourite?
Anything like... I just like to like have a facsimile of like going and doing something nice for myself. So like I love like anything that's like hair, like the noise of hair. Like I like all the creepy ones. Like I'm not just like ambient background noise. Like I want the full fucking experience, you know?
I want to be creeped out.
Yeah, I want it to be weird.
Wow.
Yeah, I love it. Because it's... Or like, I don't mind listening to like cooking. Like people cooking.
But what about the mouth noises?
Yeah, you see, I'm one of those creeps. I don't mind that. I'm really weird.
Oh, I can't do it.
No, it drives Will fucking insane because he has like, you know, the thing where you can't stand people.
I have it, misophonia.
Yeah. Misophonia, yeah. Oh god, worst days of his life when I'm eating pasta next to him.
So wet.
He can't stand it.
Yeah,
I do get why people don't like it, but I'm just so like unbothered. But I like listening to horses chewing, so I feel like it's my association with mouth sounds is really nice.
And we'll preface it with that Jess works at a stable.
Yeah. Not just like standing around listening to horses chewing.
Yeah, and she has a horse.
And I do have a horse.
Your gorgeous, gorgeous boy.
Flabby.
How is he?
Currently... Oh yeah, I saw you on Friday, didn't I?
Because you said he's not going to be very happy because his mate's going.
One of his friends in his stable blocks left him and he's taken it very personally.
Has he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But luckily he's quite fickle, so he's now just looking like... He's now, like, surveying which horse he can, like, bond really strongly onto. next. Like, and I think he has picked his next victim. So as long as I, like, reorient my life to suit him and this horse marrying up their schedule, then we'll be absolutely fine.
I relate to that horse so much.
Yeah, he's how would you describe him?
Neurotic.
Yeah. He has got severe neuroses.
He's an ex-racehorse, so...
Yeah. He's lived a hard life.
A fast life.
A hard and fast life.
He's a fast boy.
He is. Someone said to me the other day, they're like, I saw him running around here. And she was like, it's quite disturbing, actually. I was like, yep, that's the fucking word for it. He is quite disturbing.
Was he good at racing?
No. I don't know why they kept him for so long. Because you get their passport when you get, and you can, like, look, you know, because of, like, them not being put in lasagnas anymore. Like, they're quite stringent now with, like, documenting, like, where they go and, like, what drugs they have. So you can see, like, obviously everywhere they've been and stuff. And every time, like, he'd gone somewhere, it's, like, pulled up, lost, like... And then I'm pretty sure, like, before the end of his career, like, he came to me because he just got to the point where, like, they would get him there and he'd just be like, I'm not getting off the lorry. He was just done with it. He was like, I'm retiring, bitch. So, God knows why they kept trying, but they did.
Wow. And I feel like that's made him worse off.
Oh yeah, he's not benefited from that persistence. They were like, you could have a star career because he's very fast. He's very alarming. Like, they're not wrong. But he's very tall.
Is he? How many hands?
He's 17'1", so he's quite a big boy.
Wow.
And he's like very limmy.
Well,
he's got severe anxiety.
Yeah. Would you like make him run fast?
No, it scares the living shit out of me.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Because I see videos of you when you're in the school and it's like a rising trot and that's
Yes, and that's where I'm happy and that's what we do. I have experienced it, like, on it. When I brought him initially, like, I was still quite brave. I've had, like, quite a few accidents on him, as you know, so, like, I think I've got to the point where I'm like, anything faster than walk, I'm just not fucking interested. Like, I'm just happy if we're both, like, plodding along.
Yeah. You're both safe.
Yeah, everyone's safe, everyone's happy, everyone's having a good time. Right. Shall we redirect this massively?
Yeah, I don't know how we're going to create a link between horses and this current topic.
Yeah,
but...
sorry guys, there's going to be absolutely no bridging this successfully.
Yeah, you know how some of the podcasts have, like, chapters in the description? We could never.
No.
Or, like, in YouTube videos where they have chapters.
They have, like, the little separators.
Could never.
Not a fucking chance.
No.
Not a chance. So, I think I started explaining what we were going to do.
You did.
There's an article written by a lovely Guardian columnist, and it's got 8 different, like, archetypes of grad students. So I want us to try and work out, like, who you are, who I am. How, are these even real? Like, do these archetypes, like, even have any place in real life?
Yeah,
possibly not. And I'm going to get you to guess. I'm going to get you to guess when this was published and what area the author has, like, a doctorate in.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm going to also tell you which archetypes scare me.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Yes. Okay.
Go ahead.
So the first one is the wannabe undergraduate. So, like, people... The description is they had so much fun as undergraduates that they can't bear for it to end. So they prop up the bar talking to undergrads about their thesis rather than actually writing it. Which I feel like... I don't think do you think that's real? Nobody likes university that much, do they?
Well, I think there may be, like, higher education students who just want to relive their youth.
I think that's probably a viable read on it.
In almost, like, it feels predatory.
Yeah. Go away.
Yeah, like, the thought of, like, an older student, like, talking to undergrads at a bar feels inappropriate.
I was like, the image of that makes me feel disgusting. Ew. But, like, when I was a BA, I never saw a grad student. I think I met one once, and I was, like, so fascinated that they existed. But, like, that wasn't creepy at all, because obviously he was just a nice nerd.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like I had any association with anything beyond... I barely spoke to people on my course. I had 3 friends in university.
Yeah.
That's it.
I feel like, as well, like, I was at an event and there was someone there and I assumed there were another PhD students. They weren't. They were undergrad. Yeah. Shows me how I do not understand how ages work.
Sure. Yeah.
And I had a moment of, like, what?
Yeah.
What do I say?
Yeah. I'm like, you're joke school! talk to anybody younger than me.
Yeah, literally. I think that archetype does exist. I don't know anyone who is like that because I wouldn't be friends with anyone like that.
No.
But there is something about it that feels predatory. It feels very like mature older man preying on undergrad girls. That's what it feels like.
Yeah. Which definitely, like, happens, but 100%. I'm not sure I've ever seen it, like specific to... I don't know, I'm like... By the time maybe this is like coming from like a first gen perspective, I'm like, by the time you get to like grad student, you're kind of like, I'm not here for anything other than like this very specific weird niche thing that I've got to fulfill. Yeah, and you're right that you don't know who the grad students are. Like, we walk through campus and I look at all the undergrads, I'm like, do you know that I've done my time? Like, truly. I just walk through campus like, I'm better than everybody else here and nobody knows. Like, it's a travesty. I just walk through like I'm the fucking main character. But then there's a part of me that's so jealous of them because I'm like, you don't pay taxes and you have youth on your side. Yeah. I found a full-on like forehead wrinkle, straight smack bang in the centre of my eyebrows. Oh, the right there ones. Yeah, a frown line. I know. I didn't have that when I was an undergrad. I didn't even do skincare as an undergrad because I was I know. Above it all. How long ago did you start wearing sun cream every day? I feel so targeted. About the time that I started using retinol. Oh, you see, I've not got into retinol yet. Yeah, started using retinol because I'm 26 and... You do have great skin. Do you like... Do you think retinol's like the thing? Supposedly. The thing is, as well, we are going to come back to the archetypes. Yeah, sorry, I've done one archetype. So I came off the pill. Yeah. Not to have babies, mother. She's lying. Or any other family members, not to have babies. She'd love a baby. Because I would. Not yet. But because I didn't know who I was on the pill. Yeah. So I came off it November 2021. Yeah. And then about November 2022, entire chin started to break out with hormonal teenage acne. Oh. And I was like, firstly, how fucking dare you? Yeah. Secondly, what do I do? Yes. I never had this. No. And so I'm sporting a pimple patch now. Because I was just like, I don't know what to do with this. So it's scary. I got very into skincare, and then you inevitably go down. It's almost like a stages of you get into skincare and then you start to be shamed for your fine lines. Yeah. Yeah, because women can't age. I love skincare. Like, I don't have TikTok, like skincare Instagram. Yes. I fucking love it. It's so soothing to me. Oh, yeah. But then also, like, I just love, like... And now I'm so snobby about, like, wearing SPF. Like, I'm genuinely, like, so afraid when other people aren't wearing it. And it's because I'm afraid of ageing. Like, not skin cancer. Not bothered. But, like, God forbid should I age prematurely because I don't, like, slather myself in sun cream. I know. Are you an SPF 50? Yes. Of course. Like, all year. Yeah. Yeah. Anything below, playing with fire. Exactly. You don't know the danger you're in. Danger your fine lines are in. Exactly. I have actually only got SPF 30 on today. Because I've run out of mine. Oh, you're such a risk taker. Well, I do love engaging with risky behaviours. I was trying to think, what do they call it when you're like, oh God, I can't remember. I'm going to stop that train of thought there before it devolves into something awful. Next archetype. Both of us have shades of this, which is the student who has tried employment. So some postgrads have been out into the world and had a real job with a desk and a computer and a paycheck, and for whatever reason they have found it lacking. Oh no! Which, yeah, I like both you and me have been and still are, in fact, employed in jobs that are like outside of academia. Yeah, so I work in an office. Really just in the office environment. You don't just work, you have a very cool job. It is cool. I'm a writer at a brand agency. Yeah. Not to give too much away, but I did that full time in 2019. Yeah. Like 9 till 5:30, 45-minute commute each way, like really committed to it. And I genuinely struggled more with that than I do now, working 6 days a week, 10 hours a day. It's just not for me. No.
I need to choose to have my silly little mental health shower at 11 a.m. every day.
There is an element of control
that
like this does provide, which as much as like we have both ragged on it extensively as a life choice, like it does give you a level of flexibility of like you can plan your own. I don't know, I hate saying like you can just, because everyone says to me like you can just plan what you do, like you just plan your own day. I'm like, do you have like both of us work anyway? I don't, like most other PhD students that I know, like because of the current climate, like do you have another job?
You have to.
So you can't just pick and choose like what you do in a day.
No.
But there is, like you say, sometimes if I want to have a shower for no fucking reason other than I want to like not look at my computer, I can go and do it.
Yeah.
And that is very nice.
It is, and it's I still work 2 days a week because I've bills to pay. And when you first start a PhD, it is like drilled into you that it is going to be like the hardest thing you've ever done.
Yeah.
You need to do it 35 hours a week.
Yeah.
You can't work any more than 6 hours a week. Name me someone who can pay their bills on 6 hours a week.
Yeah, genuinely.
Impossible.
Yeah, deadass.
That's why it's such like, it feels like such an elitist world to be in, because like I don't have a trust fund.
No. And it's sad because like as like these institutions like have become like more diverse than they were. I think it's fair to say, in terms of like my supervisory team is definitely not like just two like very, very rich white men.
Yeah.
But even so, like, and I can see, like, I can tell that they feel bad when they're saying to me like, you need to work less in order to like put more time into this. But it's like I can't. Like, I would love to be able to work less.
Yeah.
But
it'd be the dream.
Yeah,
to just
that
like
would be
fully
so
commit.
lovely. Yeah,
But
totally.
I can't do that, and all my bills have gone up.
Yeah.
So unfortunately,
everything costs money.
Yeah.
So like not a lot to say about that archetype, really.
I think it opens a can of emotional worms that we don't want to go into right now.
But to be fair, I say there's not a lot of flesh to that archetype, but like both of us are very much people who define our worth through like the amount of work that we do every single week.
100%.
Both paid work and PhD work, so perhaps we're just not willing to get into that.
Yeah, I think that's a part of our psyche that needs to be unpicked by a professional.
Truly. The next one is definitely me, which is couldn't survive anywhere but at university. This is the group most likely to be cultivating eccentricities, keeping a mouse in their pocket or wearing socks with Marxist slogans sewn into them. Which is definitely me!
That is you!
Yeah.
Wow.
Sure.
You've got that fun tote bag about dangerous women reading.
Fun tote bag. I love it, like any kind of like fun tote bag, any like political slogan on a sock or a t-shirt, and if it was possible, I would take small live mammals onto campus.
Yep. I think I fly under the radar. I don't think I give off PhD energy.
I don't know. Like you're more like put together. I'd say there's like two. I remember when we had a lecturer when I was a BA, and I think she started teaching while she was doing her PhD, and she was the kind of person that had like her socks matched her headband, matched her like wristwatch, like, and like that's more how I see you in terms of like everything's like colour coordinated.
Yes,
got it all going on, and like full disclosure, like loveliest woman, like, and very incredibly talented, wonderful research. I hated her because I was like, because I was like, this fucking bitch with her colour coordinated shit.
She's got it all together,
and like her PowerPoints were always really polished,
and
I was like, and for no reason, I was, because at that time I was still working on like internalised misogyny. I was like, I hate her. I hate her with the fire of 1,000 suns.
Yes,
because like she kind of like represents everything that I'm just not.
Yeah,
and like obviously both are fine, but I was definitely.
Don't you find that
spectrum aesthetically,
PhD students either they treat it so much like a job that they become professionals and turn up in like suits and things like that. Or they go the other way and they just become like mad scientists.
Sure, it's like, you go to a conference and there's like someone in like a beautiful like maxi skirt and like with a MacBook, and then there's some guy in like flip-flops and a Hawaiian shirt. Like, you're definitely the one that will be in a maxi shirt and it'll be me in flip-flops. Like, that's definitely like the trajectory.
It's so bizarre.
I mean, I like it. That is one thing I do like about it, is that, like, you go to a conference and it kind of, like, welcomes, like, that kind of diversity.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
Because I do like wearing flip-flops. To any kind of event. What's number 4? Okay, this is the CV filler.
Oh no, this is going to be me.
Yeah, I think this might be you. No, I don't know, it's kind of a bit biting when actually it's just, like, you're just being smart. Their primary focus is not what they study, but what it will look like on their CV. They believe this qualification will give them an extra edge, most likely to end up as accountants or lawyers. Which I can't, like...
not going to be either of those,
No.
but I do live and die by my CV and how it makes me look to other people. To the point where my CV is publicly accessible on my LinkedIn.
You see, I don't even have a LinkedIn. I just can't stand it.
Oh my god.
And, because my job is not in any way professional.
Yeah.
Like, I move shit for a living when I'm not at university. So I'm like, what the fuck do I need a LinkedIn for?
Yeah.
I've done nothing. I've done fully nothing.
I do like the networking element, and I also like taking the piss out of people who treat LinkedIn like they are 2010's YouTubers doing a vlog.
Sure.
I love that shit.
Do like a good bit of oversharing on LinkedIn.
Oh my god. And it'd be the most random stuff. It would be like, I came in today and I was interviewing a load of people, and someone, you know, helped me on the street, and then I sat down and I was interviewing them, and, like, you know, life works in strange ways. I'm like, who are you?
Yeah, it's like,
this isn't real.
What were you doing before? Like,
Yeah.
did you have a Tumblr?
Yeah. Yes, I did. I loved my Tumblr. But I genuinely think if I do anything, I'm like, that'll look good on the CV. That will look good on the CV.
But yeah, and I just don't have that at all. I have to have somebody else be like to me, this is, like, your CV's looking fucking, like, pretty fucking bad. Need something to put on your CV.
Can we zhuzh this up a bit, please?
Yeah, like, please, let's make it a bit fluffier.
Yeah. Do you not keep a notebook of all of your professional achievements to put on your CV?
No. I just sort of think, I just remember that. And then don't. Like, I had my mid-year review recently, and I just put none of the conferences on it that I'd actually been to.
Really?
Yeah, which was good. When we got to the interview, and they were like, so you've not done much outreach, right? And I was like, I've done loads. And they were like, well, it's not on your fucking form. I was like,
oh my god. You've done loads as well. It's amazing.
It's not amazing. It's not. There's just a lot of Victorian conferences, and I'm really sad because my project spans, like, I mean, I am against taxonomy, and I reject it in every sense, but my project technically spans, like, Victorianist and modernist, whatever you want to call it, and I do not want to start hanging out with modernists, so I've been to all the Victorian conferences.
You've already made your stance on modernists very clear.
I hate them,
right.
And I do not wish to participate in, like, that.
What is modernism? Because I have no idea.
Meg!
Oh, is this opening something?
You can't. I mean, now it's like it's one of those things where it's like it's been problematized to the point of, like, what is it? Is anybody's fucking guess? I can't even remember, like, what the dates are that people like to use. I think the way we'd get taught it. So, like, if you went to uni and you did English Lit, and you did, like, we had, like, a modernist module. I don't know if you guys had one of them.
No.
And you basically would kind of look at it in the context of, like, the 3 big novels of, like, 1922, which were Jacob's Room, Virginia Woolf, Ulysses, James Joyce, my favourite novel of all time, and what's the other one? I think it might actually not be novels. I think because the other one I think is The Wasteland. I'm just going to have a look. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Is it The Wasteland? Probably isn't. Yeah, The Wasteland, which is, like, that big T.S. Eliot poem, that's also published in 1922.
Okay.
So for a while, like, I say a while, like a couple of 100 years, like, people took that as being, like, representative of literary modernism. Mm-hmm. So people always, like, I say always, obviously they don't anymore. It's so hard to talk about, you know, you're like, this is a really current thing.
Yeah.
Like, historically, the notion was that, like, stream of consciousness as, like, a narrative technique was kind of developed by these very, like, this little, like, coterie of very educated people, when it wasn't. That is false.
Oh, no. Who did develop it?
There's no, like, it's not really something I think you can attribute to, like, one person. I mean, I suppose still, like, in popular culture, you would attribute it to like James Joyce. I don't know if you've ever read like Ulysses or Finnegan's Wake or anything. Don't fucking bother. That's like meant to be representing like the consciousness like as it exists, but then it's like, how can you even claim that it can be stable in that way at all? And obviously that like eradicates the work of like writers, typically women writers, obviously, who are like very concerned with interiority at that time and stuff. So it's one of those things that's been problematized to death now. So like the canon is sort of exploded and doesn't really exist anymore in any tangible way. But
it's a whole world that I have no idea what goes
I'm sure nobody cares about any of this apart from like maybe 2 people. But,
that's mad. So you've done quite a few conferences in terms of like Victorian.
So yeah, I like hanging out with Victorianists because they generally tend to be like a bit wackier and like they're like to generalise, like they're a lot more open-minded about like what sort of thing can we consider Victorian, and like they're quite happy to just claim everything. And I think that's such a lovely attitude.
Yeah.
Whereas like I don't know, like modernist scholars tend to be a bit more like rigid about things, which is nuts because like the whole vibe of literary modernism is like in modernism. The whole vibe of like literary modernism is like there are no rules. Do you know what I mean? Like, there are no rules. And
there are no rules until you disagree with someone who has a high ground.
There are no rules until you disagree with Ezra Pound, most boring man alive, in my opinion.
He's not still alive, is he?
No, God no. He's been dead for ages.
Oh, good. I have no idea who these people are.
That was who T.S. Eliot like really.
Oh, okay. Was into.
Yeah, was big into. Okay. Lots of people liked him.
Right.
I don't know why. He just written like one... Is it Ezra Pound? No, I'm just showing how little I actually know about any of this. Ezra Pound wrote a really good like little poem about... Is it wheelbarrows?
Oh.
Yeah, he wrote like the little red wheelbarrow poem. Don't know if you've ever...
Oh, I've probably heard it.
Yeah, it's haiku. Oh God, how do you say haiku? It's haiku-like. It's not a haiku.
Okay,
but
get it right.
Yeah, which is you know what? That's not even by him. It's by William Carlos Williams. Ignore me.
Disregard everything we've just said.
Disregard literally everything I've just said. The only things people need to understand is I don't like Ezra Pound, and I think he's responsible for an absolutely criminal enterprise in literary history.
See, I want to go to more conferences, but because my PhD is quite current and it straddles so many different disciplines, I'm like...
It's like, where can you go?
I'm not quite criminology enough to go to, like, a criminology conference.
If I was you, I'd be in those criminology conferences, like, y'all listen to me.
But I'm not a criminologist.
Yeah, but you can offer a critique of their practices, I think.
Well,
that's valuable.
That's true. But then true crime podcasters aren't criminologists either. We all just pretend to be. We pretend to know what we're talking about. So yeah, I don't really know where I fall in this.
It's hard. It's a hard one to call.
Yeah, but I definitely want to do more.
It'd be really. Oh yeah. Hopefully, if we ever get our like radical fucking broadcasting conference off the ground.
Yes.
Then that would be a good venue.
That's the only way I'll go to conferences, if I just like weasel my way in with my friends.
That's what I do.
Yeah. It's called networking.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
When did we get up to? Okay, we're nearly at the end. We've got 2 more.
We're doing so good.
We've got 3 more. We've got 6. The one who just needs answers. This is definitely more you.
Mm-hmm.
They really are motivated purely by the desire to find answers about their specific area of interest.
Yes, that's me.
Sorry, I was not letting you. Didn't cover for you at all while you had a drink there.
I just want some water.
I just want a drink.
I am such a black and white sort of person.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, it's either a yes or a no. The fact that it's going to be ambiguous, and I may get to the end of my PhD and realise that I don't have the answer to whether true crime can be ethical and entertaining.
Yeah.
Keeps me up at night.
Yeah.
I want to have a definite... I want my conclusion to end with, ultimately, the answer is this.
Yeah, you want to be at the end and you want to be like, yes or no.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Because I feel like my project is so black and white when you have those 2 camps of this is ethical and this is entertaining and this is the Venn diagram where there's that in between and does that exist? It's a yes or a no. And so I need to get my head around the fact that it may be a maybe.
It may be like sometimes.
Yeah.
It may be like I don't know.
Even like in this country or even in the
God, yeah, I'd not even thought about that, but like, yeah, it could be so endlessly nuanced.
Yeah, and like the cultural differences around approaches to this sort of thing, the generational differences.
Yeah, massively.
Are you like that then?
I think I also initially wanted to be like, to have like a very black and white answer. I've definitely got way more comfortable with like knowing that it will have to be unstable and like have to like carry all these like contradictions. But I think I've definitely like just like listening to other people who like work in that vein. Like I love like a kind of social history or like a sort of cultural commentary on a past event that kind of like acknowledges like the complexities of things. And I kind of think if I could emulate that level of research like allows all of those things to be held, then I'd probably be happy. But I think, I guess like I don't know what I really don't know like, what I'm purely motivated by anymore. But I kind of just like because I've started, so I will have to finish it just because of like who I am as a person. Probably because I've like tied my self-worth to it. Whereas I think I've definitely like more got to the point of like I don't fucking care like why. With this chapter that I'm writing at the minute has definitely been really contentious in terms of like where you find feminist politics and where you don't, and like what even are feminist politics in the 19th century. Like all of that stuff has made me think I don't fucking care. I don't care.
Wow.
And the writers that I'm writing about have had the fucking audacity to not have made like very explicit political allegiances, which makes writing my chapter a bit harder.
Yeah, of course.
Because I would love them to be like, we are radical feminists, but I can't find any evidence of that.
And how do you manage it then? Because people's political affiliations and political beliefs may change over time depending on their experiences.
Sure. So it's like, this was something that I ran into when I wrote the first chapter, because the author that I wrote about in that chapter, Margaret Harkness, like started her life as like a middle class Christian, and then was disowned by her family when she went off to London because she wanted to. It's because she didn't want to get married, and that's when she then went to London and got involved in like socialist politics. But like, it really made me, because I was like, cool, she's a socialist, but like nothing's ever as black and white as that. Because then she went through all these different like socialist affiliations, and even though she never ever expressed any interest in like socialist feminist politics in an explicit way, her writing is full of like really nuanced women, really like transgressive, like she writes about sex workers in a way that is so like radically empathetic that you're kind of like, okay, so like you can tell that she's having what today we would look at and we'd call it like a feminist interpretation, or it's a feminist ideology, but obviously then like you just don't have the vocabulary for that sort of thing necessarily. So it's definitely, I think writing that definitely put me in a better headspace in terms of thinking, okay, just because someone's like a fucking card carrying feminist,
and can you even apply those like modern day expectations onto it?
Exactly. And that's why I'm trying not to rag too hard on like, I know I was saying if it makes it into last episode, like the problem of like feminism in the late 19th century being like fucking addled by eugenics and that sort of thing, and classism, massive problem in like still is like a massive problem for feminism at that time and today, and like being able to treat that with as much empathy as you treat other people is hard. But you've got to do it, haven't you?
Oh my goodness.
One thing I'm definitely like, I don't know if you feel like grateful to like have gone through that process of like understanding that you can never have a yes or a no, it's always got to be messy.
I don't even think I'm at that point yet. Like I still think
I want a yes or a no.
Honestly, like I think so much about like the final product in terms of like my thesis and like what's my answer to my question going to be, whereas the answer could just be like, this is the process of discovery, and that's, that original contribution is that original process and the research process, but I still want that answer.
I still just want to be able to like have really like a one sentence answer to the research question. Oh, hello.
Brum brum.
Brum brum. Brum brum. It's tricky.
It is hard, isn't it?
It's tricky when It's tricky when you go through the application process and you have to like break everything down into like very articulate chunks. Like it took me fucking ages to write my research questions. I don't ever look at them. Like,
Really?
I don't... Yeah, I changed them... I didn't change them for, like, 2 reviews, and it's the first time that I've changed them this year.
Yeah.
Just to... But that's not narrowed the project down, it's just made it broader, which is what they told me specifically not to do. But what can you do? Okay. Type number 7, grad student.
Mm-hmm.
The eternal student. They're not bothered whether their academic career shows linear progress. They're just collecting qualifications and trying to get every letter of the alphabet after their name. Definitely a complex that I have.
Yeah, 100%.
Because, like, my motivation for the PhD for a long time was just, like, I want to be a doctor.
1000%.
I want to open letters that say doctor.
Yeah.
Doctor, my name on.
Yeah, 100%. I want previous boyfriends to ask me if I'm a miss or a Mrs.
Yeah,
so I can
doctor.
say I'm a doctor.
Yeah, I want to buy things online and just select doctor.
I want my passport to say
doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
Glad we've established that.
We just keep listing scenarios where you could include doctor.
Could include doctor.
Driver's license. I want my doctor in
I've
it.
not even considered, like, all, like, my documentation.
But
I was just thinking about the post.
I like the fact that my name is has Bama at the end, because B-A-M-A.
Oh, is that what? I didn't even know we got those ones.
Yeah, you get B-A-M-A.
B-A-M-A.
PhD.
B-A-M-A, PhD. Oh, cool.
I like the fact that it's a Bama.
It's a mama. I didn't know we gave you those ones.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
And you get the brackets ons for BA
Honours.
Oh,
Yes. Oh, yeah. You know what? Now you mention that, I remember being extremely bothered about getting the ons.
I don't even know what qualifies you to get the ons.
Not a fucking clue.
Mine said I did, but I don't know how.
I didn't know how either. When they turned up, I was just like, good.
Thank you for this.
Yeah, excellent. Like, moving on. Okay, are you ready for the last one?
I'm ready.
The polymath. These geniuses could have studied anything anywhere. They'll probably go on to do great things across several disciplines and already understand your thesis better than you do.
Oh,
An
my
unfortunate subset are also charming, witty and good looking and therefore hated by everyone.
I hate them.
I know one person like this and she's a very good friend of mine.
Oh, you can't say you hate them.
Oh, I don't hate her, but I am incredibly jealous of her competence.
Yes.
Is what I will say.
1000%. I have one of my closest friends who I went to school with, and she has been that level of just intelligent across all subjects. She's like 6 foot, like built like a model, gorgeous, now working very high up in like environmental sciences.
Wow.
Just incredible. And people like that, I think, how do you do it?
Yeah. Like, what is the secret?
Yeah.
I always look at them and I think, what's wrong with you? What's like your fatal?
What's the downside here?
Yeah, I always have to imagine something horrible about them that like humanises them.
Yeah.
Or I have to like imagine them doing like icky. You know how you have to imagine men doing like icks so that you stop loving them?
Excuse me?
You know, where you have to like imagine them doing something really. Oh god, I can't think of a good example. Like you have to think of them like singing to themselves in the car, and then you're like, I don't love you anymore.
Or when they go bowling in that little like victory walk they do back to the seats,
stuff like this.
Yeah,
You
I
have
understand that.
Yeah, I have to give everybody icks.
Yeah,
to convince myself that like they are like inferior.
I love that. But then it's like in actual fact, like, people like that don't exist. Like, the people who are perfect all round.
Perfect people are not real.
But it's like you look at them and in your head they're real.
Yeah, and like in your head they're also perfect.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's just not...
Literally.
Well, I would like to believe that like they don't exist in that way.
Yeah. And I think it's because as well, like, whenever people talk about like people who do PhDs, it's always like, oh, I bet you're smart then. And it's like, absolutely not. I'm not at all.
It is the biggest thing that needs debunking about doing a PhD is like that it's for smart people. Like it's and like don't get me wrong. Like I think I like there's loads of people that I think that are doing PhDs really fucking smart.
Of course,
super smart.
Yeah.
But all of my friends that are smarter than me have like gone on to do like a whole diversity of things.
Yeah.
Like never even considered a fucking PhD.
Yeah.
Like,
I was not smart in school.
No.
Like, at all.
No, I was an overachiever, I'd say, until my GCSEs, and then I've been like bang average, or if not below. Like I got shit A levels, and I got into one university. I've been there my entire like academic career because I couldn't have got in anywhere else. I applied for like 7 different places.
Yeah.
And yeah, our institution is the only one that took me. So it's like it's not a smart person. It's a neurodivergent person's pursuit.
Oh my god, it is. Oh my god,
That's what I'll say about doing a PhD.
It really brings out a side of you where you're like, this has always been here, but it's interesting that it's now flourishing.
Yeah, it's incredible that it's now being praised and like lionised.
Yeah, I was exactly the same. Like my A-levels were so... I didn't get the A-levels needed to get into my first university. I don't know why they let me in. I have no idea. I should have got like an ABB.
You compelled them with charm. I think I was meant to get ABB.
I did not.
I did not either.
I think I got like... I think I did get an A. Then I got like a B, C, distinction star, I think.
Oh my god, you could have been an actress.
I was going to be. I used to be in acting school.
Is that like your thing that you were going to do?
Yeah, I was going to be an actress.
Wow,
and then
that.
I know. And then I wanted to be... Because I was a dancer for 15 years.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
It's all making sense now.
I know. I just liked the attention. And then
dancing's hard.
Oh, God,
like dance is like much respect to any dancers, all dancers.
Oh yeah. And then I did obviously film for my undergrad because I was like, oh, I'll go into like the industry, and then realised that I didn't particularly like the personalities in the industry.
No.
Or the working environments in the industry, and just chose to go for the writing side instead because I enjoyed that a lot more, and I could do that in my solitary room. I did not have to talk to people.
Generally nicer people, and if they're not nicer people, you don't have to see them that much. It's definitely a
most definitely
nicer cohort.
Well, is that all of them?
What were my notes? Yeah, I've got instructions. Well, I've not got instructions. I've got prompts.
I love how you're still covered in crumbs from the cookies you ate.
This is how I usually look when I'm like sat in bed writing, with like crumbs everywhere.
For such a tall woman as well. You really do prawn yourself up.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm just completely fucked, aren't I? Like I have to curl up like this.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I'm in constant pain if I use my posture as intended.
Your back's like, I'm not used to this.
I really need to. I've noticed like I do need to go to physio because I'm very crunchy at the minute. So yeah, I think we've touched on it lightly. Like, who are you? Who am I?
I think we're both very similar.
Yeah, I'd say we have a few like fundamental differences.
Yeah.
Just in like personality type and like working style. But I would say we're probably both shades of eternal students.
Yes.
People who just need answers.
Yes.
And students who tried employment.
Which is interesting because we're also eternal students.
I hadn't thought about it. Oh my god. But I think there can be crossover between like we're both very like I just like we want the prestige.
Oh, 100%.
Which might be linked to having had like and having normal jobs and being like, this isn't it for me.
Yeah, and I have a real thing for academic validation.
Same.
So
yeah,
university gives me that. It fulfills the kink.
It's like universities are like full of people with a praise kink.
Genuinely.
That's fine.
Genuinely.
It's nice to have a community.
Insecure people who just need to be told we're doing a good job.
Exactly. Exactly.
No, I think that's good. I think that's pretty representative of who we are as people.
Needy.
Yeah, literally needy. This is better than therapy.
Oh shit, I'm kicking the chair.
Oh god, I'm kicking my bottle.
I'm making ambient sound.
Oh no.
Yeah, the other one I was like, how much do we feel like these archetypes even like resonate with?
I think if you were to combine them for different people, I think they speak more to people's experiences than who they are as people.
Sure.
Because I think it's kind of framed like it's intrinsically your personality, whereas it's like the eternal student, for example, like maybe someone who doesn't do as well in like the traditional 9-to-5 format.
Yeah. 100%.
So I think they definitely do exist. I think they speak more to your experiences as a person.
Yeah.
And your preferences as a person.
Yeah, exactly. And like what you want from higher education. Because like people do want different things from it. Like as much as, I've just said it is just for people with praise kinks. Like people do like seek different things from it.
I think from people's, like, expectations for life as well, like, I know the environment of being in education aligns so much more with what I want from, like, my working experience and, like, my working life.
Yeah.
I like the flexibility. I like the autonomy.
Oh my god, yeah. I hadn't even considered that. I think, that might be why I like it as well. Yeah. It's just, like, this is, like, the complete reverse of the type of job that I've done for, like, 10 plus years. Like, it's a very big shift.
I mean, going into, like, 9 to 5 work after this, I'm literally going to be like, what do you mean I can't spend an hour going for a walk this afternoon?
But I've got plans.
I want to.
Oh, that's so funny. And then I've got, so, if you had to guess, like, what year would you guess that this column was published? It's not aged as badly as I thought it had, actually.
Oh, okay, because I was initially going to say, like, 2017.
Woo!
Yeah, because I think it sounds like... I think in, like, the 2010s, we had, like, a real... And probably because that's when we went to university, but I felt like everyone was going to university.
Yeah.
And so I think it's reflective of, like, the growing interest in people going to uni.
In, like, higher ed. It's actually from 2007.
Shit!
Yeah.
Wow.
Must have got it wrong. Check. No. It's from 2007, which means it's 16 years old.
That's disgusting.
I know.
So we were 7, 8, 9, 10. What year were you born?
97.
Same. So we were 10.
Cool.
Wowzers.
Oh, little 10-year-old us. That article came out into the world and we were just 10, not even thinking that we would ever even go.
Oh no, I definitely knew I was going to go.
What, did a PhD?
Yeah, I've always wanted to do one.
Really?
Yeah.
What, 10?
I was the weirdest kid. I remember being sat in my friend at the time's kitchen.
Weird.
I know. And I was like 12, grilling her mum about the process of getting a mortgage. Because I was so scared about the process of it.
Oh, little Meg is so cute.
I know. I was born a 40-year-old.
Yeah, that's so funny. You're like one of those kids that's just been like 45 forever.
Yeah. But no, I always knew I wanted to do a PhD. Very weird.
That is like... That's... I didn't even want to do one when I started doing one. I've made it my whole personality now.
Yeah.
But when I started doing it, I remember going to register and just being like, what am I doing?
Do I want
What
this?
am I doing?
Well, I'm glad you did.
Thanks. Oh, that's nice.
That's nice.
That's nice.
That's nice.
It's nice to have met other strange people through doing it.
Other eternal students.
Oh God, I hope I'm not an eternal student. I'm ready to like be done after. I mean, I will inevitably like go into academia.
Yeah, I think it's inevitable that we both will continue this career path.
I don't know why. I'm so tired. I just keep telling myself like it'll get better like once I've got the PhD. Once I've got it, then they do get you to do other stuff, but like not loads of it, right? You just start.
And that is 18 months away.
Yeah. Oh God. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not ready.
And on that positive note,
yeah. How long did we go for this time?
Hour 10. About the same as the other episode.
Lovely. We've got an hour 10 conversation in us each time.
Love that. Well, I think we're going to touch base again in a few weeks, aren't we? Do some more recording.
Yeah, we're going to see if these are even intelligible.
Yeah, people even like them.
If people like them.
Yeah.
If anybody listens at all.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming along anyway.
Thanks. Bye. 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 That was such a downer.